Hello and welcome to Microsoft Hates Greg. My name is Greg Deckler, and a few videos ago I did this analysis of this Google Trends, like basically the amount of search traffic that key terms like Microsoft Fabric and Databricks and Power BI get over time. Um, and did it kind of a analysis, like kind of a back of the napkin kind of in Microsoft Paint, which then I took into Power BI and kind of confirmed what I was seeing in on the back of the napkin kind of analysis of it. Um, and so today we're going to be doing something similar to this, but in a different manner. And you might be wondering, Greg, why are you doing this at all, right? And the reason is because I'm genuinely curious about these kinds of things. And if I learned anything as during my stint as an industry analyst in the messaging and collaboration space, it's that vendors lie to you, okay, or they at least stretch to the truth, if you will. So you can't take what the marketing machines and that sort of stuff, what they say at face value, right? Because to Microsoft and the your Microsoft volunteer promoters, right? They're gonna, it's all sunshine and rainbows, okay? Um, but is that reality or is that not reality? I don't trust things, so you can't trust what take what they say at face value, right? So you always try to find other ways of kind of verifying and double checking, and you try to get in as many vectors as you can in order to figure out what's really going on within a space. So this is one way. Again, this is a good way to kind of just judge overall interest in a topic, right? And we kind of showed that as when Microsoft was introduced, like Power BI, interest in Power BI actually started going down in terms of search traffic. And this is in the United States. Worldwide, it was a little bit not as gloomy of a story, but still pretty gloomy. You had like a pretty nice slope going from here in up until the moment that a Fabric was announced here, and then it really leveled off quite a bit. It was still going up a little bit worldwide, but really leveled off. In this case, in the United States, it actually is going down since the announcement of Fabric, and actually interest in Databricks has actually accelerated. So you can watch those videos. Now you might be saying, well, Greg, Power BI started off slow as well, right? And so Fabric is just going through those same growing pains. Well, I thought about that. So I did some a little bit further analysis on this. And what you're seeing here is this is just Power BI from the moment Power BI Designer was released in January of 2015. And so I did the first 2.5 years because that's about how long we are into Microsoft Fabric, right? And here you can see right here is January 2015 is the initial kind of spike of interest in Power BI, right? Right around the time Power BI Designer was released. Now the first time that it actually exceeded the initial level of interest, got close here, right? 17 got close here, is July of 2015. So basically just 7 months later, right? And then the interest just basically kept going up from there, right? Now we can compare that to Microsoft Fabric. Now, Microsoft Fabric, here is the initial bump in interest when Microsoft Fabric was announced. It's a 78. And you have to go over 2 years later. This is the first time, July of 2025, right? So May of 2023, the initial spike when it was announced, just like Power BI back in 2015. And then it took over 2 years for interest in Microsoft Fabric to exceed, right, the initial level of interest. That's a big difference, right? You're talking it's basically took 4 times longer for Microsoft Fabric to basically generate the same level or more interest in terms of search traffic than it did when it was initially launched, compared to Power BI. And then instead of like Power BI just kept going up, it basically tanked. Um, at least so far this year since its peak here in July 27, August 2nd, 2025, that time range. Which it seems like that would correspond with like probably the run up to FabCon Vienna, FabCon Europe. I don't know. So anyway, so I don't think it's the same. I don't think it's the same growth pattern that Power BI experienced. The growth pattern for Microsoft Fabric, if there is one, which I think there's just a little bit of an uptick lately, but it's not very pronounced. All right, so that's enough about that. So what I decided to do was there's these third-party aggregation sites that kind of collect data around what the different companies, and they all have their different methods, right? What companies are using what technologies, and they put it into a big database and report on it and stuff like that. One of those is 6sense, right? And so here's what 6sense has to say about Snowflake in the data warehousing space, right? It's got basically a 20% market share, which is number one in the ranking for data warehouse, right? And again, got to take all of this stuff with somewhat of a grain of salt, right? Because none of these metrics, and methods of collecting this information are 100% accurate, right? I don't believe that for a second. But can you get a general sense of where things are? Yes, you can usually get a general sense of where things are. And if you were to ask me, does Snowflake own around 20% of the data warehousing market? Seems like a reasonable kind of number to me, just based upon anecdotally what I see out there and what my customers are talking to me about, that sort of thing. And then you have like Amazon Redshift, Google BigQuery. These are all people in SAP Business Data Warehouse, DBT, right? These are all what I would expect to see kind of in the top 10 kind of stuff, right? But nowhere in this, you even got Netezza, nowhere in this is Microsoft Fabric. Microsoft Fabric, they've got Firebolt at 0.1%, but no Microsoft Fabric anywhere in the data warehousing space, which is one of the primary workloads for Fabric, right? And we can take a look at this. This is another look at it with data warehousing, Snowflake on top, et cetera, et cetera. Just different way of looking at it. And then we have Databricks, right? And this is in the big data analytics, Databricks. And Databricks is number one ranked at 16%. And then Azure Databricks is just right behind it with 15.57%. So Databricks basically owns like over 30% of the market in terms of big data analytics, according to 6sense, right? And then you have Talend, you have Apache Hadoop, you have Microsoft Azure Synapse sitting there at 9%. But again, nowhere do you see Microsoft Fabric. It just doesn't even register at all. And so then we can take a look at Azure Synapse, again, 9%. So here, again, Databricks is just a different way of looking at it. So, at least Azure Synapse has 10%, which, I mean, has anybody migrated from Synapse into Fabric, or they just holding tight to Synapse? Because if I was a Synapse user, I'd be holding tight to Synapse because Synapse is way less costly than Microsoft Fabric. You only pay for what you use in a real sense with Synapse versus Microsoft Fabric. Now, you get into this, and Microsoft Fabric as a data technology is so not on the radar, at least as 6sense is concerned, that when you look at Microsoft Fabric, it's like, oh, 63% market share. Yeah, but that's for Microsoft Fabric UI or Office UI Fabric, right? This is something that Microsoft has reused the Fabric term. This is at least the third time, right? Because there was, you have this Microsoft Fabric UI kit, right? Which is, here's introducing Fabric UX system, right? So Microsoft Fabric for Fabric experiences. This is not Microsoft Fabric data analytics, right? This is UI type stuff. And then they also used it for, so there's again, Fabric system. I think this is what that link takes you to over here and later in the article, right? And then they also have an overview of Azure Service Fabric. I don't know if anybody remembers Azure Service Fabric, but they use it there too. So it's like it's Microsoft's own fault for like confusing the hell out of everybody by just reusing Fabric like over and over and over again. It's like that's one of the craziest decisions I think I've ever seen is to repurpose a product name that you've already used. It's like you're just shooting yourselves in the foot at that point. All right, so that's 6sense. Right, so let's take a look at another one of these aggregators, right? And this one is Datanyze, right? And so Databricks, right? 11% of the market share is what these guys are talking about, right? Number two, software in big data processing. So that's kind of similar to big data analytics, right? They have Apache Kafka, they have Apache Hadoop, right? Apache Spark. Microsoft Azure Data Factory makes the list at 6.21%, right? But again, there's no Microsoft Fabric. Now, you could say Microsoft Azure Data Factory is part of Fabric, yes, but it's also its own thing, right? You don't have to use it with Fabric. It's its own kind of standalone stuff that you can use. And then we have Microsoft Fabric. So number 7 software and data integration. So at least it makes the list here, right? So 4.04%. Now the funny part about this though is that Microsoft SQL Server Integration Services beats it at 5.5%. And BizTalk Server, of all things, according to these guys, has more market share than Microsoft Fabric in the data integration space, right? Is that crazy or what? BizTalk, when's the last time they updated that freaking software? Like, how old is BizTalk, man? I don't hear anybody talk about BizTalk at all these days. But it's out there silently plugging away, running stuff, right? Because people built it 2 decades ago or whenever the heck they built it. So I thought that was a crazy thing, but at least Microsoft Fabric makes the radar here, not in a real meaningful way, but it does, and it's being beat by 2 other Microsoft products that are old as hell, right? But at least it made the list. So then this is business intelligence software market share, right? So this is Power BI, right? So Power BI is like 19% of market share, right? Compared to 4 for Microsoft in that data integration, and that's it. So this is in the business intelligence market, right? And again, you can go through this stuff and you're not going to see Microsoft Fabric show up here, which maybe it's just because it doesn't fit into this, it's always interesting with these guys in terms of what falls into this space, what doesn't fall into this space. So that's Datanyze. Now there's another one here. Companies using Microsoft Fabric 2025 is 806, right? So this is 806. This is landbase.com versus Power BI is 65. It's almost 66,000 versus 806. Now, I should have had my calculator up here. 806. 806 divided by, all right, fine. 806 divided by, what was that? 65,829. So about 1% of companies that are using Power BI are using Microsoft Fabric according to Landbase, right? And we have another one here. So we have 91 companies that use Microsoft Fabric, right? This is Enlift, right? And Microsoft Power BI is 108,000. So what is that number then? 91 divided by 108,859. It's a really small number, right? It's not even close as far as that. So somewhere between, times 100, somewhere between 0.08% and 1% of Power BI users are using Microsoft Fabric. I guess you can kind of conclude from this, I suppose, right? Now here's what I think is really the most telling thing though, is that this is I searched for Microsoft Fabric on Wikipedia, and it does show up in computing, an end-to-end data analytics platform. You click it, and it just goes, there's no page for Microsoft Fabric. Like, how sad is that? That's how little anyone gives a crap about Microsoft Fabric, right? This is the most telling piece to me, is that nobody in 2.5 years has bothered to create a Wikipedia article. Nobody from Microsoft, right? You can go in there, somebody from Microsoft, you would think from Microsoft Marketing would go and freaking create a They don't even care about their own product enough to create a Wikipedia article about it, which is, I mean, maybe Wikipedia is not, as big a thing now, in the age of AI and stuff like that is what it maybe once was, but it's still a pretty popular resource that's out there. And it's kind of the encyclopedia, the internet encyclopedia of the world kind of stuff still, right? And that's compared to Microsoft Power BI, right? There's a page and it's updated, right? They got the latest update on here, stable release, right? Somebody's in here has an interest in Microsoft Power BI and is updating this page, but nowhere on this page, right? Nowhere on this page. So if you search for Fabric, you don't find Fabric on this page at all, right? That to me is damning. That on Wikipedia, that nobody from Microsoft has bothered to go out in 2.5 years and create a Microsoft Fabric page, and link it, so that it doesn't. This is the only place that it shows up is under Fabric disambiguation, right? That is crazy to me. So Is Fabric doing well in the marketplace? Circumstantial evidence between the Google Trends, the third-party aggregation sites, and the fact that nobody cares enough about Microsoft Fabric to create a Wikipedia page on it, I think is very damning and very telling in terms of how much it's not doing well in the market. And that's, again, it's all circumstantial, right? And it's definitely flying in the face of what Microsoft's going to tell you and what the MVPs are going to tell you and all that sort of stuff. But I don't know. If I'm looking at this information right, I'm really questioning whether Microsoft Fabric is doing anything at all really meaningful within the analytics and data warehousing market and anything like that. I just don't see a lot of evidence, for it that's out there. But you tell me whether or not these methods are garbage, whether or not they're interesting, whether you have different ways of like analyzing this stuff, in terms of trying to get to the truth. But that's all I'm trying to do here is trying to get to the truth around, how well is Microsoft Fabric doing in the market because I have an interest in the topic, and that's as much of an explanation as I can give you. But anyway, that's all I had for this video. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.